You know, my kitty came back, and it looks like somebody had doctored him up. He looks great. I put some food out for him. That's his picture. I know you can't see it very well, but that's him. He's back. Yay. I was so worried about him. Thank you, Jesus. So, I'm JT, and this is my corner. And I know you think I'm crazy, but I've been feeding this cat for like 2 years now. So, it doesn't really matter if you have money or if you don't have money, if you're famous or not famous, but people get so sick and tired of being lied about. If it ever happened to you and somebody just blatantly lied about you, you put up with it for a minute, but then you get sick and tired of it and you lash back. I know I do. I mean, I'm a hothead anyway, and I wouldn't have taken it as long as Melania has taken it. So I saw her little 5-minute speech. She came out and spoke at the podium. And before I get into that, let me just say that the top 3 models in America are Kendall Jenner, who makes $96 million a year. Gigi Hadid, she makes $39 million a year. And Chrissy Teigen, who I really can't stand. I don't know how much she makes, and I don't really care. But Melania Trump made $50 million altogether, and that's for modeling and her jewelry line and whatever. And the only 2 people who went to college was Christine Habib. She went for criminal psychology, and Melania Trump, who back in her country went for architecture. So, being a model is not a crime. It really is not. So let me just say that people get, like I said, sick and tired of being lied about, on social media and all over. So first of all, Melania is brilliant. She speaks 7 languages. She has her own jewelry line. She made her money being a model, but what's wrong with that? If you have a beautiful body like her, why wouldn't you? And you don't have a problem with Chrissy Teigen, or you don't have a problem with Kendall Jenner, but you have a problem with Melania being a model? Okay, never mind. So what I was getting to is that people get so sick and tired of being lied about, and so they lash back. And Melania lashed back, and I give her kudos. People are saying that she was Epstein's, she was dating Epstein. She never did. She was saying that Epstein, introduced her to Trump. Never happened. She met Trump at an event in 1998. She was here on a work visa, an H-1B1 visa, where she was modeling, and she wasn't making that much money, but, over a course of time, she made more and more. But she never dated Epstein. She was not best friends with Maxine, Giselle, whatever her name is. And people are, saying that she was a victim of Epstein. And I don't blame her for coming out and just being pissed off. So she spent 5 minutes saying, A, Epstein did not introduce her to Trump. B, she never dated him, Epstein. C, she was not a victim of Epstein. And so what I give her kudos for is coming out and not just saying that, but she wants the true victims of the Epstein files to come to Congress, give their story, and have it written in the books forever, so that people, who go to any kind of congressional library can look up the Epstein files and the people that were actually victims of this horrible person. And so, you know, the Trump family has endured a lot. People lie about them to get clicks. You know, the Democrats lie about them and then try to raise money on their lies. So I just want to say that kudos to Trump for lashing out at Candace and Tucker and, you know, all the other people who are bad-mouthing him and lying. I mean, they're straight up lying. They're not just saying, oh, you know, like I say things and I try to keep as much information real as possible. But some of these people, they bull-faced lie. And how do you think her son feels, you know, having to endure everything that these Democrats have been, you know, accusing the whole family of? So anyway, I just wanted to say that. Kudos to her for coming out and standing up for herself. And I hope she sues everybody, all the liars, you know, for defamation. And Trump, you know, Trump has been so laid back, you know, with all these lies. He was like, you know what, let the stupid people lie about me. But I saw on his Truth Social what he wrote about Tucker Carlson and everybody else. Can you imagine trying to save a country that has been, you know, we have been lied to, stolen from. I mean, look at all the fraud everywhere. Did you know that, I don't know how many billions it took us to spend to take Amethyst around the moon, you know, the spaceship? Well, the train that Gavin Newsom is building in California that hasn't even half a mile of tracks cost 3 times as much as it took us to travel to the moon and back. Where'd all that money go? Who knows? But there's so much fraud and so much lies, and I just really wish that people would just take a breath. You know, let the poor family, the Trump family, not that they're poor, but, you know, they've endured all this crap. Leave them alone. Let them do their job. You disagree with their politics, fine, but do not tear their whole family apart. Take them through the gutter and lie about them day after day after day. It's just not fair, and it's not right. I would hate it, you would hate it, and I'm sure that that poor family hates it. But kudos for them for turning around, coming back, and standing up for themselves. Not only that, but kudos for Melania wanting to bring the Epstein victims to Congress so they can actually tell their story. You know, if her husband was involved, I'm sure she would not want that to happen. All right, guys. Thanks. I'm glad my kitty's back. Have a good day. Oh, and the best part of, the best part of waking up is coffee in your cup. The best part of coming home is wine in your glass. Oh my God, it was from a day from Holy Bellino.